Howdy, howdy. Frosty510 here, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about Fortnite Festival mode and the main stage. And I got to tell you, it's really good. Uh, Odd that the approach that they take hasn't been tried before. It's kind of one of those things where you just go, "What?" So they've got a couple songs. We've got a whole festival pass here. You can unlock, obviously, the weekend. And I'll show you. So these are the songs. Oh, these are all the jam tracks, all the ones you play, plus these two. So there's quite a few songs, and you can, do the V-Bucks thing and then have them as soundtrack stuff. I'm not going to play them, of course, because copyright, etc. And again, that means I can't also show you the gameplay without muting it, and it's kind of like defeats the purpose. Just know that there's 4 buttons, easy mode, and it goes across your controller. So this is on PlayStation 5, so we have, so it's, imagine it here. So you've got 4 buttons, and you get combinations of, say, that one and that one. And so you have the left arrow, right arrow, and then you have square, and then you have circle. So it is somewhat intuitive, and it's an approach like a flat line across that makes sense when you start playing. So it'll never ask you to do left and right at the same time, or square and circle at the same time. So it's with controller in mind. So that's, again, a limitation, which is why they do want to connect to the Rock Band controller. I think the Rock Band controller is the only choice, because the most recent Guitar Hero controller, not that these controllers are that abundant out in the wild, but the most recent Guitar Hero controller was a different model they tried, which it does sort of fit in the splitting them, but it was a very different system. Try to be more realistic, but it drove people away because it was just a bit more. It didn't follow the standard that they had set. So it's one of those things where Rock Band just maintained the same consistency, and so they were able to pick up a lot of the players and do a lot of different songs going through an online rotation. And the nature of the holding the songs is always the issue. So this mode probably won't last that long. But having said that, if you're, big music label and whatever, you do want to have your song in this, because you're exposing the kids to it. Because that's most of the people playing, are young, and they'll get to hear your song and go, "Oh, I never heard that song before. That's not too bad." And then they'll look at the band. Happened with Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero 3, I didn't know much music. And then I played Guitar Hero 3 absolutely like crazy. Know all the songs now. Know all the bands. You look up the bands and see if their other songs are as good. And then some of the times they aren't. Sometimes they are. And it's a great way to expose young people to music in a way that's engaging, because they are engaging with the song by trying to get 100% and nail it so that they can hear the whole song. I think it's really good how it punishes you if you miss the notes, you don't hear the song parts. That's, I think, that motivation, I think, is the best way to get people to listen, to remember music and to feel ingrained in it. That said, without having just a separate context of hearing the song in a certain part of a movie or a TV show and it resonating with you in the moment, and then you associate it with that moment going forward, and then you have the nostalgia about the sort of factor. It's a good thing. It's a good mode, and I think the approach is pretty damn good. It takes a tiny bit of getting used to, but it wasn't long till I was, on easy mode, getting 100% every time. So that's not hard. I did play Guitar Hero 3 to the point of, through the fire and the flames. So yeah, if you know what that means, you know what that means. that's the true at the peak. So I was up to that part. I didn't quite cross the peak though, unfortunately. But yeah, crazy times. All right, so I recommend you try out the mode for yourself. I played drums, but I think they're all the same. So I'm going to check them. But even if they're not, I think the system is quite similar. You don't. One of the things, Guitar Hero World Tour, they had the full collection, so they had the drum kit. I don't know if anyone still has drum kits, because they were they reliability. Yeah, you could have issues with that, and the pedals were brutal. So I don't think they'll try and connect those again, but you never know. Maybe they'll try that. Because there's the electronic versions on PC. So on PC is a whole other world of things they can try. But that's when we come back to the controller for the Rock Band, which I've got. So if that works, I'll make a video about it. That'd be pretty cool. But that said, copyrighted songs, can't show you the actual thing. It's kind of annoying, but it does play. You do 2 songs in a row and you load in with the squad and everyone picks an instrument. You can have everyone do the same. It doesn't matter, which is, I think, is great. And when you do the, you have the overdrive, which is your maximum doubling your points for a certain period of time after you build up the charge of it. And if you do it at the same time as other teammates, you get even more. So if you want to get the most ever, you need everyone to sync up. And yeah, I think that's nice. It's nice how, the team overdrive. Again, there's something from Guitar Hero World Tour. Yeah, I blabbered on, but it's been Frosty510 talking about Fortnite main stage, festival main stage, and how I think it's a ripper. I think it's really good. And the idea is you can copy that quite easy. So we've got the jam stage as well. So I might try the jam stage. But yeah. See ya. Little post note on this video, even though it's only short. So I had to go at the jam stage, and it's a combined musical thing. So people stand around and can play a part of their song, so they can play one of the instruments. The audio, the vocal never loaded on the 2 free ones, but I'm guessing that that's why they're on the other ones, the paid ones. Naturally. Hopefully this one isn't copyright. I turned off the mute all copyright thing, so it should be fine. All right, and what else did I? So I put on the harder difficulty on the festival main stage, and you get 5 buttons. So instead of the left, right, square, circle, you get left, right, square, triangle, and then circle. So for 5 buttons across, and it's a bit of a thing to get used to. The big part is I forget this part here. The right arrow square connection sort of gets a bit lost at times. So it does put it up harder. That's just on expert. You're really, worrying about the 5 buttons so much. Otherwise it's annoying, but it's not too bad. The speed doesn't pick up. The speed doesn't go crazy, thankfully. So I suppose thankfully is the right way to put it. Maybe it doesn't appear to be as crazy to me because I don't know, still somewhat used to Rock Band and Guitar Hero. When you get to the highest level, the expert difficulty, when you first see it, it looks like it's going unbelievably fast, but when you are used to it, once you're ready, it's not so bad. So maybe that's just a me thing, but otherwise it's not so much about the speed as it is about the 5 buttons. The triangle, square, circle thing is, and just connecting with your left, right arrows is a pain in the ass. It just takes time to get used to. So people who get 100% on expert, they're doing a good job, regardless of instrument too. It's just a bit it's a bit odd. So yeah, I can see why more discussion about the actual guitars being used, because there's some notes that I found just wrong. The faint ones where you hit the previous one, you just have to tap it, but then you're all tapping for every note. So they're trying to do things, but they're not equipped to do. So I wonder how it feels on keyboard in comparison, but yeah, it's not quite right on the hardest difficulty. So it's like they have copy pasted straight from like Rock Band, Guitar Hero. They have learnt some of the lessons, like the hold down notes and then the faint ones, but the faint ones just don't quite work as well on console. That's just the truth of it, without the actual equipment, because again, then you're strumming. So I don't know how they could change it. Maybe it's just L1 and R1 instead of left and right. You just swap the keybinds yourself. I think that might be the answer, but I don't know. I don't really want to do that. So all you would do is control. No, can we control keybinds? Keybinds? Anyone? Control the mapping. So what can we do? Can we swap square to L1? Is that? Do we have a separate keybinds for festival? LTM main stage. Okay, here we go. So we can swap here. So we have hard, and then we have expert. So this is the real challenge, is trying to get a better combination. I think maybe you do the middle, and you do L1 on the first lane, and then R1 on the far lane, and then square, triangle, circle. I don't know. I'll think of it. All right then. Catch you next time. Bye bye.